intense sex.
Tak ahojte všichni, já vás zdravím u dnešního streamu a hlavně ze záznamů. Chtěl jsem to včera, nakonec jsem nestíhal. Většina z vás to viděla. Honkai Star Special Program 3.4, nová postava Paimon, ale hlavní věc, většina z vás to napište, nebo hlavně já, Fate State 9, neboli Fate série, COLAB, Seiba, Archer, prostě dozvíme se, nebo já se teď dozvím věci, ti z vás, co jste viděli, tak víte. Redemption kódy, myslím, že už fungují jenom do 12, samozřejmě jako vždycky, ale nevím, jestli teďka do dnešní 12 nebo už včera. A byly oznámeny nové postavy, tady je vidíte, Amphorius Saga a je to Seridra a Helsines, nebo Helsilian, nevím vyslovnost, tyto dvě nové postavy budou příští updateu. A protože ty Fate Collab event, nebo prostě ty bannery by měly být po dobu 3 updateů, já si to fakt dozvím, doufám, že tam bude, tak prostě to bude hard, sami mi napište a jdeme na to, nebudeme se zdržovat, ten stream má hodinku, doufám, že se tam dozvím, co chci, nebo co budu a hned to přetočíme těch 5 minut, to nebudeme se zdržovat. Určitě tam bude samozřejmě zase trailer, který jste viděli pod tím před chvilkou. A je tady i napsané pocket, questy, takže jsem zvědavý další věci. Tak jdeme na to. No tam bude za hosty, hned dáme trailerem, OK. Paimon, hlavní nová pětová postava. Já nemám ani ten příběh dohraný. Budu do toho mluvit, a pokud to z vás někdo vadí, tak si to pusťte zvlášť. Tady to je, že do toho kecam. Nová oblast. A i skiny mají být prý, jsem viděl na Firefly. A mě nejvíc zajímá ten Fate event, jako sorry, ale tam mě nejvíc zajímá. Teďka zaslavím zvuk, protože to řve víc než já. Mám to na 12. Je to zaměřené, chápu ten update na to, ale tak vypadá dobře ten Paimon tím. Svatý grál. Je to tu. Seiba. O svatý grál. Nice, Archer. Ty to ani nějak přímo úplně nečetl. Tam byl i Lancer. To je úplně všechno. Pojď svatý grál. Ale byl tam i Lancer. OK. No hned redemption kód. Do 21.6.12.00, takže do soboty. Chápu, počkejte někde odpočet.
Hey, Mr. Albert?
Hello!
Albert.
Woo! And whether or not you have a day-night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the version 3.4 for the sun is set.
Protože se bude poškozená, ten Paimon vypadá dobře, taky bůh. Taky božský vzhled.
Rebooting really does solve all problems. Now we can introduce
Já bych
ourselves.
řekl, že zrovna, že to je polobůh nebo tak, jako já v té příběhu teď hodně plantám a teď jsem dlouho nehrál příběh.
Nice to see all of you again. Did you miss me?
Oh, of course we missed you. Well, dear guests, welcome to the show. I have been looking forward to this special program more
Je
than
ten
anything
fake collab.
else. The way the story in the last version left off had my heart
To jsem ani nedohrál, ani tam předešlý příběh.
The burning sky
Z Castoris.
and the fall of dawn. Akuma was the last place under Kefali's protection, but now it has also sunk into Evernight.
Rozumím
All
spoilery
of
asi.
our Chrysosaur companions did everything in their power to buy precious time for the Trailblazer and Finan, so they could return the very last core flame to the vortex of Genesis.
We already found out the truth, so what do a few sacrifices matter? Every Chrysos heir was prepared for this. You just need to boldly take that last step toward the Era Nova.
But in the trailer just now, it seems like Finan is gonna go through a lot. I saw a few scenes that looked like flashbacks.
Jako moc za to kecat asi
and I
nebudu,
think I
ale
even
tak,
saw
že
a
začtu.
different form of him.
The
Ale
truth
něco
of
vždycky tomu
Emphoris
tvrdí.
is about to reveal itself.
To vypadá
As
dobře,
soon
no.
as I can already tell that
Ale já ho
what's
vyšovat,
happening in Emphoris
varpovat
is
tak
not as
nebudu,
simple as it
protože se
seems.
fake collab.
Indeed. For example, when we went to fight Aquila, we noticed that the Eye of Twilight seemed unusually high-tech.
And when the Dawn device went out, many of the structures in Akuma and the
Pustil
vortex of
Litecoiny,
Genesis started
no.
showing strange
Bude to extra.
textures. It was like the whole world was peeling off.
Why don't we take a look back at our whole journey so far in Emphoris and lay out
Už
our
zbytečně
suspicions
kecají o
and
tom
clues
příběhu, mám
we had.
pocit.
First, at the end of the 3.3 story, the geniuses reveal that the
To nevím,
source
protože
of
jsem nehrál.
Emphoris' tragedy is an emperor's scepter that survived to this day.
It has something to do with that erudition god beyond the sky, doesn't it? Even though I don't quite understand these principles, this breeding ground, which switched from following the path of erudition to the path
Vlastně
of
3 postavy
destruction,
tam, no to je
must be
Archer,
hiding
Seiba,
secrets
Paimon,
beyond
co dělají,
Eranova.
to je dost.
In addition, that Tin Man Lygist is also pretty suspicious. He and Finan had a pretty significant conversation in the
Takže nemáme
vortex
nějaký
of
trailer nebo nějaký
Genesis.
ukázku
Actually,
jenom
I
na
was
ty Fate
already
postavy.
suspicious of him when he
No
said
to bylo v
he
tom
could
traileru,
fix the
že
express
byli,
in the
ale
Trailblazers
přímo
back
pro ně,
home.
že to je Fate collab, taky
Well,
velký.
the mask is coming off now.
Based on my interactions with him, Lygus doesn't seem to have any desire to oppose the Chrysos heirs. Rather, he only wishes to quietly
Mohl jsem
observe
to skipnout,
everything as it
protože tady to,
unfolds.
když ten příběh nějak ne, jsem pozadu nehraju, tak
so far is exactly what he wanted to see.
zbytečně to asi se na to dívat, ale
That title, Theoros,
nikdy jsme to nějak
does
neskipovali,
mean
tak
spectator. If we combine this information with what we know about the relationship between the scepter and paths, maybe Emphorius is being used as a chessboard by people from beyond this world, and Lygus is one of them.
Oh, you're exactly right. If the situation in the cosmos is like a game of chess, then Emphoris is a trap to set up the checkmate. But who knows? Maybe the chess pieces themselves can overturn the board. The hero's Era Nova could affect the worlds beyond the sky, and the Trailblazers' choices may also determine the future of the universe.
But before the Era Nova actually arrives, there's no way to tell what it will bring. The Trailblazers have already done so much for Emphorius. I don't want them to have to experience the unknown of Era Nova.
As someone from beyond the sky, they already risked a lot by taking on a demigod's divine authority. If something were to happen in the Era Nova...
No, we can't let them stay. They have to listen to Finan and go home.
Well said. The Trailblazers won't betray the sincerity you've shown them. However, their fate will still be tied to that of Emphorius. They'll be returning to the battlefield with a very important mission.
nějaký event
On the
bude.
other hand, I suspect many of our audience
Fatem.
members, like me, have some
Víme, že
questions
Archer by měl
about
být
Finan.
zdarma aspoň,
That Finan we saw
ale
in
jako
the
jedenkrát ho
vortex of
získáme
Genesis
zdarma
at the
a
end of the
pak už
3.3 story?
když budeme chtít, tak kdyby v Gachinu, já mi to vždycky zapomenu ten název Honkai, tu konstelace, kdyby, tak, že v Honkai se jmenuje jinak, tak jsme.
But I'll leave these specific details for everyone to find out themselves in the game in version 3.4. I've actually got some other information to reveal to you.
What
Nedostaneme
kind
10 tiketů
of
za
information?
update, to je dobrý.
Following the story's progress as I've written, we'll receive a big update in this version. In these records that we've kept, you will be able to catch a glimpse of Emphoris' true nature.
Before, As I've Written was like a storybook. keeping record of our friends' stories. Now,
Tam jsou všechny ty postavy.
even its appearance has changed. It feels like something big is about to happen.
It looks like it's turned into some kind of database.
You can use this system to unlock even more of Amphorius' secrets.
Indeed.
That's right.
True.
Aside from the major updates too, as I've written, the long-awaited skip dialogue feature, which was previously announced, is finally going live in version 3.4. Story dialogue can now be skipped by section, with plot summaries and the main characters that appeared in each section
Okay.
displayed along the way.
Stručně
Now
napsané
you can
postavy.
choose the pace of storytelling based on your own preferences. In version 3.6, there'll also be a story
Píše za 2 updaty.
Stay tuned. But of course, as we move into version 3.4, we shall take the final step of the prophecy together and witness the truth and the fate of this world. And the myriad celestia that Mr. Shaoji hinted at in the version 3.2 preview is finally going live soon.
Oh, you mean what's happening beyond the sky? Is it also related to Amphorius and Era Nova?
We'll have to keep it a secret for now. Meanwhile, we'll be releasing an animated short.
Další
This
anime film.
animated short contains a very important part of the story in version 3.4. Can't spill too much here, but I can give you a little teaser. This short will come with its own original theme song. So don't miss it.
Awesome. Nice.
I can't wait to dive into the new story
No
already.
ty animačky jsou pěkné jako.
Why don't we turn our attention to our good friend Viden and take a look at his story together?
Paimon. Ta oblast vypadá pěkně, ten řecký styl. Nebo řecký, jak to říct? No řecky, ne? Vypadá hustě, no, ale to nekecám.
What in the world happened to Finan to make him change this much?
This is nothing like the warm, sunny person we all know. Now he seems strange and formidable.
Oh, could you elaborate?
I remember when our buddy first showed up in Amphorius. Finan was one of the first Chrysosaurs to genuinely welcome them. And when danger came knocking, he always had our backs.
But behind that kindness and reliability, Finan carries the expectations of many. He is the deliverer chosen by the prophecy, and Aglaya's hand-picked successor of the Flame Chase journey. Aglaya even used her own death to set him up for success, by making the Council of Elders the focus of criticism, and allowing Finan to step up and rally the people.
Yeah, all of us have high hopes for him. Some even call him the Deliverer of Amphorius. Even Cypher, who barely ever showed her face, used to call him Little Deliverer Boy.
It's as if everyone just assumes that he'll be a savior.
Now I'm curious. What was Finan like before he joined the Flame Chase journey? Was he one of those perfect kids everyone got compared to?
Before the Flame Chase journey, guess we've got to go back to my hometown, Ides Elysiae. It was a small, remote
Jo, proto.
village.
Rodná
Nothing
vesnička.
flashy, but far away from the chaos.
Se mi docela líbí toto.
Ooh, sounds like a
Ten
real
venkov.
peaceful place.
It was. And even though the village was small, everyone got along really well. There were also beautiful rivers and mountains, and even a
Náražky na
forest.
Fidej, myslím.
That forest was home to all kinds of little fairies. When I was little, I'd go exploring the woods and visit those cute fairies.
Tam to
When
vypadalo
I
pěkný,
wasn't
to, tak
exploring,
tady
I'd go
toto.
play with my friends by the sea. We
Vypa-
pretended to be
se mi líbí taky
heroes for the
podzimní
old
nádech,
stories
taky.
and practiced our
To je žlutá oranžová.
swordsmanship. When we got tired, we went to lie down in the wheat fields until we got called home for dinner.
No strife?
Řecko-římské, no, ty
Any
budovy
of that
takové.
deliverance
Vesnička.
crisis stuff? Seems like a complete paradise.
The wheat fields look gorgeous too. Lying there surrounded by golden waves of wheat with the breeze carrying that sweet
Venko, no.
malted scent. Oh, just the thought of it is enough to get me excited.
And guess what? You won't have to imagine for long. In version 3.4, we get to explore ID's Elysiae alongside the Trailblazer. Learn about Finan's past, how it became a warrior,
Wow.
join the flame chase, and grow
Proč se mi
into
říká potom
the
Paimon?
person
Teď
he is
nechápu.
today.
Trošku se s tou ztrácím.
From a carefree little kid to the deliverer carrying everyone's hopes. You've really come a long way.
These days, Finan just gives off this heaviness. Like he'd still press on no matter how exhausted, just to live up to everyone's expectations.
Amphoreus needed a hero, so he became one. The Chrysos heirs needed hope and a leader, so that's who he became. Looking back at the main art for this version, even though Finan's face is still the same, his whole vibe has shifted. His gaze is now sharp and commanding, completely different from before. Now we're just one step away from the era Nova. Prophecy foretold. The deepest truths of Amphoreus are about to come to light.
Půl hodina jenom tady tam.
What trials lie ahead, and what choices will Finan make?
A hero's journey is never easy. But if the will in your heart is strong enough, no fire can burn you out. If anything, every trial is just a forge for an even brighter soul. I am more than ready.
Well said. Then let's let everyone experience it all themselves in version 3.4. Now let's take a look at how Finan performs in battle.
You got it. I'll first show up in the familiar form everyone knows. When using my skill, I'll deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. The use of my skill also grants me core flames. Once I've collected enough of them, I can activate my ultimate.
Wait, so core flames only come from using your skill?
Not at all. Finan can also gain core flames when he's selected as a target by a teammate or enemy ability. If he is the target of a teammate's ability, Finan will deal even more damage.
When I use my ultimate, I'll create a territory and transform.
After transforming, Finan powers up massively. Teammates temporarily retreat and can't take action, while he faces the enemy head-on with newfound strength.
All alone? That
Well,
sounds
over.
way too risky.
Power si myslím.
No worries. All the talents and buffs from Finan's teammates still stay active to provide him with much-needed support.
Exactly. After using the core flames to transform, I have access to the powers of 3 kinds of titans: Creation, Calamity, and Foundation, each with a brand new ability.
Care to elaborate on that?
Tapping into the power of the Creation Titans, I can deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. Calling upon the power of the Calamity Titans, I'll enter a special state called Soul Scorch. In this state, I'll force all enemies to immediately take action, during which I receive reduced damage, and each hit I take builds up the Soul Scorch stack. Once all enemies have taken action, I retaliate, dealing damage to all enemies and then unleashing multiple instances of damage on one random enemy.
Heads up. The more Soul Scorch stacks he's got, the stronger that counterattack hits.
Using these 2 abilities also grants me an exclusive charge called Scourge, which fuels my 3rd ability. With the power of the Foundation Titans, I dispel all debuffs on myself,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
use
but power.
Scourge Charge to deal bounce damage. If I've maxed out the consumable Scourge Charge, I also slam all enemies with extra damage.
Once all his actions have been used up, Finan will unleash one final blow, hitting all enemies before removing
To
the
je
territory.
projekt ten lidi hodně, no. 4 rany, teď do toho ten fade.
Upon casting it, Finan
Ale
instantly
fade je
strikes
fade, sorry,
all
jako.
enemies in a certain radius. If they're normal enemies, they're immediately wiped out without even triggering a battle.
Wait, all enemies? That's nuts.
Of course, power comes with a cost. This technique consumes 2 technique points.
If the technique misses, it won't cost any points. Plus, when Finan's in the team, the technique point cap goes up by 3.
Wow, o 3.
When I use my technique to enter combat,
Ještě, když máš
I'll also
Castoris, tak když
generate
někdo umře,
energy
tak
from my
se
teammates.
to vlastně
In addition, at the
oživí.
start of each wave, I'll deal damage to all enemies and gain Scourge.
To už přidává body.
Oh, I see.
All right, Now that we've wrapped up Finance combat abilities, it's time to bring you some updates on a few familiar faces. In version 3.4,
Ne.
Silverwolf, Blade,
Kafka ne.
Kafka, and Jing Liu are all getting some serious enhancements.
Ne.
Let's go! Mr. Albert, please do tell us what's changing.
Ne, Kafka ne.
Let's start with Silverwolf.
Jo, takhle.
After
Vylepšený.
the optimizations,
To jo,
her
to vím.
ultimate now lowers the defense of all enemies instead
Kafka
of
bude
just
vylepšena
one.
vlastně, co jsem četl.
Oh, so it's AoE now, not
Hey,
single
Mom.
target.
Exactly. Meanwhile, she'll prioritize adding a weakness that matches the type of the first character in your lineup.
To nemůže
On
taky
top
prvotní
of that,
postavy
Silverwolf
upravujou.
will regenerate extra energy at the start of combat and the beginning of each turn.
Oh, that makes it a lot easier to apply the weakness we actually want.
Next up, Kafka.
Kafka, jo.
After the buffs, Kafka's skill will trigger more
Nice.
DOT on enemies.
To je super.
Whenever a teammate hits an enemy target with any kind of attack, Kafka will launch a follow-up attack. After unlocking certain traces, the follow-up attack can also trigger extra DOT on the enemy. And using her ultimate recovers the number of times the follow-up attack can be triggered.
So basically, Kafka's got more frequent follow-up attacks, better efficiency applying debuffs, and an overall boost to DOT output.
Yeah, for
Ty
sure.
vole, to bude
And now for Blade. After the
No, nemám vylepšeného, ale
deal
dostal jsem
damage
ho.
to enemies based on his max HP. When Blade enters the Hellscape state, he is more likely to be attacked, and his follow-up
Jednoduše to
attacks will
upravili ty
generate
postavy.
extra energy.
Sounds like Blade can trigger more follow-ups and use his ultimate more often, meaning his total damage output's gonna spike.
Good observation. A change will happen to Jing Liu as well. Now she'll deal damage to
Jing Liu
enemies
taky.
based on her max HP. Each time a teammate loses HP, Jing Liu stacks extra crit damage. After she enters the spectral transmigration state, she'll also gain a stack of syzygy. That means the spectral transmigration state lasts longer,
Nice.
and her overall damage output climbs even higher accordingly.
Our old friends sure are getting some solid upgrades. But with all these ability reworks, won't their Eidolons be affected?
Oh, don't worry, Professor Anaxa. Some of our old friends' Eidolons will be tweaked to better match the revamped kits, making sure everything stays in sync.
But what if someone wants to stick with their previous version of their abilities?
That won't be a problem.
Lol.
You can switch between our friends' ability modes freely. So choose whichever version you like
To je
best.
dost.
For more details, be sure to keep an eye out.
Ty
for
prostě může použít ty
official
staré, anebo ty nové.
Sounds
To si musí hlídat, jestli to
announcements.
automaticky
Aside from the
přepne.
ability reworks,
Anebo
one
jestli
more old
hned.
friend of ours is getting something new this time around.
Oh, who is it?
In version 3.4, Firefly's
Co viděl?
brand new outfit, Spring Missive, is making its debut.
A new outfit.
To je pěkný skin. Od toho hry nedávají ty
Let's
skiny,
take
no.
a look at the video clip first.
Školní uniforma. Možná je dobře, tam nejsou skiny. Prostě člověk to může vrážet jenom do těch postav a Litecoinů. Ono se stejně transformuje.
With her school uniform on, Firefly looks more youthful than ever. And that firefly-shaped brooch on her chest? You can tell she
Většinou
put
v
a lot
létě,
of
no.
thought into picking it
Vlastně
out.
March ale neměla v létě. ne?
Maybe she even asked for fashion advice from her fellow Stellaron hunters.
Well, Miss Kafka does have an eye for style. They must have talked a lot about it behind the scenes.
Even her mech's had a makeover. You think she spruces it up during downtime to match her outfit changes?
Mas to ne, naprosto že
totally
nepamatuju.
possible. If I had a mech, I'd also probably coordinate it with my outfit. New theme, new colors. The whole look has to be consistent. You'll be able to grab Firefly's new look from the
Bring back
contract
save
shop
jako
using
jarní.
direct shop.
Přitom je tu let.
And again, please stay tuned for further details and future official announcements. Next, let's take a look at this version.
Takže co tu máme? Paimon, March. Ty čtverky, to mě nezajímá.
In version 3.4's first half warp event, Trailblazers can acquire the limited 5-star character Finan.
Uce.
And the limited 5-star light cone, thus Burns the Dawn, will have a boosted drop rate. Also, a brand new
4 setany. Jo, nový čtverkový Litecoin, to vypadá pěkně, jo, ta postava.
4-star Litecoin for the Path of
Ta bude,
Remembering.
si myslím, dalším updateu. 3.6, se mají být tam ty dvě.
At the same time, we'll
Oh.
also kick off a special
To bylo nedávno, ne?
the limited
Okay.
5-star characters. Treeby, Sunday, and Sparkle are coming back. Plus, 5-star Litecoin.
Jo, tam bude i Sparkle ještě. No, tak mu dobrý, nějak. To mi nevadí.
Earthly Escapade will return as well. In the second half of version 3.
No jasně, je tam skin, tak to musí být Firefly, Julian a Blade. Blade je vlastně ještě jako standardku, může člověk na standardku. Když prohrajete 50/50, tak si to můžete dát Bladea právě vyměnit, což se mi tak nedávno stalo. Tak to mi nevadí, ty postavy. To je 6 postav. Za jeden celý update. Plus do toho ten Fate. Litecoin mám.
Two of our newly buffed old friends are
Ty
making
jaké
a
čtverky
comeback
budou toho
in this
Fateu?
version. What about Kafka and Silverwolf?
Here's a little sneak peek. Limited 5-star characters, Kafka and Silver Wolf, will be back in version 3.5. And limited 5-star Litecoins, Patience is all you need, and Incessant Rain will rerun as well.
Ty 5 budou.
Nice.
Kafka.
Also, 8 new 4
Nové Litecoiny, Castoris, to vypadá pěkně. Nový, 8.
star
To je
Litecoins
5.
will be added to the Nameless Honor Rewards.
Vypadá pěkně, jo.
3.4.
I see quite a few familiar faces on the light cones. There are a few mini versions of Chrysos Air.
Takže před update 3.5 to bude kariéra na Kafka Sorov. Kafku bych chtěl znova, no. Vylepšit co nejvíc. Ale jestli bude ten Fight Food, tak to je rip. A pustit nové postavy jedno, ty vole.
Can't beat that level of comfort.
For sure.
All right, let's take a quick break.
Takže
Just
to,
10 more version 3.4
uvidíme, jestli se to teď
content
dozvíme.
coming.
Ale prostě dvě nové postavy, Kafka Rerun a teď do toho Fate ty bude. Tak je to rip. No není tam zatím.
In version 3.4.
Lucky event,
Is that the cute match 3?
ty arkády.
That's right. The International Peace Corporation has officially sponsored
Čekaj, že dají ten Fate nějaké oznámení, ok.
To
nechají nakonec, jo. Když tam u Fateu asi budou ještě, jak to bude blížit se nějaké videjka nebo něco. Má být, myslím, vyjde update a pár dní na to. Za týden po updateu. Jo, toto. No, asi můžeme trochu
Oh no.
přeskočit.
To worry. In this version of the origami, throwing hammer can eliminate any
To nás nějak si na to. Jo, i proti hráčům, ne?
Faces among
Budeš
our
moc.
We're done slamming seals. Now it's time for slamming paper birds.
Alright, let us continue with more version content. Our old friend Gift of Odyssey returns as
10
usual in
tiketů,
version
nice.
3.4.
Nice.
A hlavně mě zajímá, když
The
člověk
Flame
prohraje,
Adventure and Realm of the Strange events will
Fate
also
banneru,
return.
koho tam
Complete
dostanem.
the challenges to get double rewards.
Yep. In version 3.4, Stagnant Shadow, Shape of Cinders, will
Shadow.
also come online. And you can obtain the Ascension material, Charred Bud of Twilight, for wind characters upon completing the challenge.
At the same time, the planar ornaments, Arcadia of Woven Dreams,
Jo, tam
and
je toho.
Revelry by the Sea will also come
Tam
online.
mají vlastně přidělají ty úpravy, ty
Trailblazers
postavy,
can
ale
obtain them in the
je ještě, že může mít tu starou
Divergent
verzi a jen tu novou
Why did my seat
schopností,
collapse?
nebo tu úpravu. Pojďme Fate.
In addition, I'd like to share with you some information about a few events outside the game.
Mimo hru.
First, the annual Hoyo Fest Off-White exhibition
No.
will begin in July. This year's event venues have been completely upgraded, and the events will be held in core cities in 6
No,
Southeast Asian countries.
Evropa si může nasrat.
That's right. We've also
Tož
prepared
chápu.
a lot of event
Tam je větší
missions
hype.
and new merchandise. Please follow our official channels for details about the events and tickets.
In addition, Honkai Star Rail will be joining Anime Expo this July. Come visit the Star Rail booth and claim free limited gifts.
Honkai Star Rail, proč tam je Honkai? Proč tam je Honkai Impact 3?
Featuring several special guests.
Please keep an eye out for more info and official announcements. See you at Anime Expo.
Anime Expo, chápu.
Thank you all for your kind introductions. Let me see. We're almost out of time. We'll move it on to our next show in just a sec.
You seem mighty busy, Owlbert.
Tam byl jeden velký event a teďka ty další, ten fake.
I am a professional superhost.
What's going on?
Jo,
Goodness,
je,
Albert.
Hey, what's going on? It's not my time yet.
pojď Fate. Boj o svatý grál.
Whether or not your world has the concept of a holy grail. Welcome to the live stage of the Honkai Star Rail.
Jo, proto to má tak dlouho, protože to je 36 minut klasický, o klasickém Honkai Star Rail updateu a pak je ten Fate. Fate Stay.
Unlimited Blade Works COLAB special
A jdeme to
program.
bude.
Long time no see, everyone. I'm aventuring from the
Pak
interastral.
bude i ta hudba z Fateu, ty vole. Lancer.
Galaxy Ranger Boot Hill. At your service.
Kdyby to byla jako čtverka.
Welcome both of you. I, Albert, have apparently been summoned by the Holy Grail to be this show's
To bylo ten,
hosted
takže to bude nějaký velký
Albert.
event.
Could your class be speaker?
A to 4 minut. Nebo 34 minut. Ne, 24 minut.
Maybe you two can call me presenter instead. That sounds nicer.
Tak pojď do mě.
Presenter doesn't sound half bad.
Už tak je to
In that
extrém.
case, why don't you present the situation to our audience? Explain what you meant by summoned by
Holy
the
Grail.
Holy Grail and why
Holy
it
Grail.
arrived at Penacony.
Well, the cosmos is full of surprises.
Penacony to, aha.
Soon after the ripples of the Charmony Festival had calmed, the Trailblazer received a secret invitation from old Odie, head of the Alfalfa family. It turns out that the old Jen is planning a brand new entertainment spectacle called Sweet Dreams.
A hudba v
and
pozadí,
the
nejde
Holy
úplně slyšet,
Grail.
ale kdyby to z Fateu.
Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War. Sounds like a Holy Grail War is taking place in the Sweet Dream.
That's right.
Jo, tak.
I have
To spojili s těma v
idea where
Penacony a
old
s těma
Odie
s náma.
got the Holy Grail from. Let me give a brief explanation of everything here.
A čau. No, může součástí příběhu. Jenom zatím, ale třeba do budoucna. Další update. Ale to by oznámili už. Takže proto to je v Penacony, protože tam jsou ty sny, tak chápu. To tak zajímavě spojili s těma snama. Mě zajímalo, proč to tam je vůbec, jak je to bude mít propojení. A chápu, tak je to, jak kdyby ty sny.
How are they gonna attract tourists if they don't have any events? Besides, didn't the last Charmony Festival have a little accident? I mean, that
Ta
probably
hudba vzadu, pozadí.
The family's definitely gonna want to find another opportunity to generate some buzz.
Well, I heard that old Odie.
Doufám, že to prostě si dali s tím záležet, ty postavy si dali záležet tak i s tím eventem nebo tak.
Therefore, returning Penacony to the cosmic limelight.
With dreams as the gimmick, the show is sure to attract a lot of money and a lot of dream chasers. I bet old Odie is thinking of the same thing.
This Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War program will be conducted in Penacony. The 7 invited participants will summon famous historical figures to
Mají
fight
zapomnět, že
alongside them
streamuju.
as their servants. And the final winner will receive the precious opportunity to make their wish.
Prostě jsem zavěřený na to, jenom to čtu. Ale já to streamuju, abych to nemusel natáčet a renderovat. A nahrávat.
Bullets don't discriminate, so someone gets caught in the crossfire.
Rest assured, everyone.
Je dobré, protože ty za Fate, tak prostě se na to podívat. To již vrátí. Velký hype tomu Fateu. Ale škoda, že tam není Johanka, tak. Jako, to zase bychom chtěli moc.
Well, since it's you, Owlbert, I'll believe
Chápu.
it for now.
A je to Fate Stay Night.
Who's participating?
To start off, the owner of the Radiant Feldspar, shareholder of Penacony Superstar, the Soul Glad Festivity, our dear Trailblazer will be participating.
Jo, chápu.
So, the Trailblazer will be taking part in another adventure.
That's right. In addition, Miss Robin will also be up.
Jo, takže do těch snů jako svatý grál, do toho se zapojí ty postavy z Honkaje plus ty Seba Archer.
Well, as another Penaconian shareholder, the Interastral Peace Corporation's strategic investment
A kdyby
department
pokračovali z té kolaboraci do příště a dali třeba Fate Grand Order a třeba
Galaxy Ranger Boodle will also
tu Johánku z Arku, to by byl extra. To by se to tam ještě hodilo.
Actually, I was just wondering.
Všechny ty Fate postavy tam by dobře zapadaly.
Micah got an invitation to.
Takže tam je collab s Fatem je extrém. Když ta hra bude slavit teď 3 roky. Ne, teď slavila 2 roky vlastně. Příští rok slaví 3 roky. Genshin je 6 let, bude slavit a prd. Žádný pořádný collab. Buď se to nechce, nebo se to tam nehodí do toho Genshinu.
Of course. Apart from local Penaconian
No.
heroic spirits, 3 very well-known heroic
Ty no,
spirits
ale
also arrive
z toho 2
to
hratelní
Grail
jenom.
summon and participate in this Holy Grail War. They are respectively Saber, Archer, and Lancer.
Lancer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Jo, ale ten Lancer tam není ukázaný, prostě, to je nejvíc.
Wonder which heroic spirit will end up accepting a contract with the Trailblazer.
Now, see? This is how you attract attention. Now we're gonna get tons of views. That's why you pay big bucks
Ta
to
hudba v
get
pozadí.
the big names.
S tím
As to what
Fatem.
stories will unfold in this sweet dreams and the Holy Grail War,
To vypadá prostě
and
dobře.
who will forge a contract with who? Trailblazers will have to find out.
Jo, ty budeš jak ty smlouvu, jestli si můžeš vybrat, tak to bude hard, jestli s Archerem nebo se Sabou.
In the game, here's a reminder that the Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works
No, špatně přeložené.
Trailblaze Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail will officially start
11. července, no, tak jsem měl pravdu. Nebo ty líky měly pravdu, takže to vyjde pokud se teď podívám, týden po vydání. 25. ne, takže 2. července by měl být update a 11. července v pátek by měl být ten Fate COLAB, takže to je necelý týden, víc jak týden. Ale, no jako to je nejhorší, co udělal. Já chápu, že prostě když zrovna v té době si to teď nepamatuju si, prostě vyšel ten Horizon a zároveň ani ten Genshin, nevím, jestli to bylo ve stejnou dobu, tak jako jo, ale i tak je to blbost, víš co.
keep an eye out for it.
No, hodně lidí si na to ukazuje.
Now let's learn more about Saber and
A
Archer.
ten Lancer mě překvapil, já jsem o něm nevěděl, až včera večer jsme volali, tak jsem viděl omylem. Nevěděl jsem to, než dneska, já jsem vlastně teď, jak jsem zapl stream, nebo ten special program, tam vidím ten trailer a v tom traileru Lancer. Říkám, co?
Two heroic spirits from another world.
Oh, yes!
Saber's dress seems a little different from usual now that she's arrived in Penacony.
Well, this is the planet of festivities after all. You gotta dress up for the occasion.
No, nemám ten původní slide, ale
The King of Knights' new outfit was personally designed by Mr. Takashi.
jo, ten autor, ne Fateu. No však jo, collab s PSkem, ale prostě jestli v té době a jí nevyšlo zrovna teďka ten Horizon, jestli pár měsíců před nebo po Genshinu, nebo během toho, víš, takhle to myslím. Aj. Já chápu, že to je s PSkem, že prostě vyšel Genshin na PSku, tak té dali spolupráci, že, ale proč zrovna jí, prostě jestli v té době ani nevycházel Horizon, já už si to nepamatuju právě.
Takeuchi. It retains their iconic blue and...
I když oni upravili tu Seibu, ona měla původně ještě vypadat
And
jinak.
her iconic ahoge.
That's right. It retains the nobility of a king and also emphasizes utility for a warrior.
Ten dubbing hlavně
The
aj.
lines along her shoulders and her cloak
Ne?
are
Ok,
straightforward.
já právě mi to teď napadlo.
The skirt is quite reminiscent of timeless British fashion.
A vypadá
As for
pěkně
how she
jako.
looks in the game, well,
いつでも出陣できます。
No ten dubbing prostě.
騎士の魂よ。
To je prostě nejvíc. No jasně. To je prostě spejtit tento moment.
Well, butter my fudge and call me
Excalibur.
a biscuit. That Excalibur truly
Král
shows her
Artuš.
strength as a king.
Oh, talk about fancy visuals.
And how come the King of Knights is always stuffing her face? Even in Penacony.
Oh, looks like Penaconian food is very
Je to ale
much to her liking.
nejhorší věc. A pokud oni mají, Genshin má kolaby, to víme, ale má to třeba, já nevím, se Starbucksem, nebo možná kecám, ale s McDonaldem měl a dalšíma těma věcma. Jo, ale prostě to je jenom v Asii. Jo, prostě já chápu, buď se jim to nehodí do té hry, nebo to nechcou, nebo budou říkat hráči někteří, že by se tam nehodí a tak, ale prostě, když Wuthering může mít Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, což nevíme jak, co bude, to až příští rok, a to je to samé u toho Fateu jsme nevěděli, až potom ty líky byly, že tam bude Seiba a Archer, jo, tak prostě docela to tam zapadám. Doposud jsem mě zajímalo, jak to bude, proč to tam bude vůbec, jak to tam zapojí, jak to tam udělají. A když je to, že v té Penacony prostě jsou ty sny a oni to tak do toho zapojí, tak je to jako si myslím úplně super.
Let's see how the King of Knights performs in battle.
Saber is a wind character following the path of destruction. Saber will gain a certain amount of core resonance when she enters battle. If she uses her technique in the overworld, Saber will obtain combat buffs and also more core resonances after entering battle. When she uses her basic attack, she can deal damage to a single enemy.
The King of
Amerika,
Knights is
no ale v té
cautious as
Americe
ever
tež
in
to
this
nebude
world.
tak
I see
chápu,
she's still
ale
hiding her weapon's appearance
ale v
and
Evropě
true.
to skoro není
She
vůbec.
uses
No.
her skill. Saber will deal damage to one designated enemy and its adjacent targets. If Saber has enough core resonance at that time, she'll consume core resonance to regenerate massive amounts of energy for herself and increase her skill's damage.
In other words, you need to accumulate as much core resonance as possible to increase the damage Saber deals.
Exactly.
Are there any other ways to
No nejenom
obtain core
Honkai, a i
resonance?
třeba Wutheringu, víš
Yes,
co?
there are. Whenever any ally uses their ultimate, Saber obtains core resonance and increases her own damage dealt.
Behold, the King of Knights has dispelled invisible air, barrier of the Wind King around her sword, releasing high-pressure air in the blink of an eye to form Strike Air, Hammer of the Wind King, dealing a devastating blow to the enemy. When using her ultimate, Saber will deal damage to all enemies and turn her basic attack into Enhanced Basic Attack. Her
Excalibur.
Enhanced Basic Attack can damage all enemies and provide Saber with a certain amount
Jako větrný element tady tu chybu používal asi nejvíc.
If the sum of Saber's energy and the energy she can regenerate via consuming core resonance exceeds the amount of energy she needs to use her ultimate, Saber will immediately take action.
So if you replenish core resonance in as many ways as possible, you can use Excalibur more frequently.
That's right. Not only does this sword bear
Jak
the
jsme
King
daleko?
of Knights past,
Ještě
present,
si
and
ještě
future,
15 minut,
but it
no.
also represents the noble ideal that was held in the hearts of the countless soldiers who once followed her in battle. All right, that concludes Saber's introduction. Now we'll move on to our next otherworldly heroic
Archer.
spirit.
Tak ukáž, to jsem zvědavý.
Oh, seems like Archer cares about this Holy Grail war very much. He put on a new outfit, too.
He even changed where his accessories go. Those decorations he had on his chest are now on his shoulders.
What sharp eyes you've got, dear guest. Archer's new outfit was also personally designed by Mr.
A dobře to navrhl,
DarkPatrik.
jako fakt to vypadá
It
dobře.
has the classic red and black look. The sharp contrast, reminiscent of a blazing
Hrdinný duch
fire in the
Emiya.
deep night, imbued with a dangerous allure. The combination of the long trench coat with skin-tight combat gear emphasizes his lean figure and is the perfect fusion of attractiveness and strength.
You got that right. Director, show us the game footage already.
A ukáž, ten voice. Baseballku. Ten Daber je nejvíc, prostě tež. Ne, asi. No, je to zkrácené, ale ty vole, dobře, no. Ty vždycky to má zkrácené.
So that's Unlimited Blade Works? Oh, quite impressive indeed. After all, Archer
No,
is a
pro mě to bude
seasoned
těžké,
veteran
pokud
of
updateu
war.
3.5, jak oni říkali, že se vrátí reruny na Kafku, bude rerun na Kafku a Silver Wolf, plus ty dvě nové. Teď ten Fate. Je to blbý.
Okay, Archer is a quantum character following the path of the hunt. When he uses his basic attack, Archer can deal damage to one designated enemy.
Jsou ty meče, ne? Kančo a blokuje.
That's pretty gutsy, I'll give him that.
That's right. But Archer hasn't exactly slacked off on his marksmanship training since coming to Penacony. When using his skill, Archer will consume 2 skill points to enter
Ještě když tam bude ta hudba nějak si Fateová, upravená nebo nějaká nová, nebo ta z Fate série, tak to bude prostě.
And he can continue to use his skill until he runs out of skill points.
Ano, však to jsme se bavili. A i v té Fate Grand Order ve všech hrách to má zkrácené, že? Unlimited Blade Works. Kdyby udělali i třeba někdy, já chápu, že se to nestane, tak si ty originál skiny, co mají, jako skiny originál, jako ten originální vzhled na Seibu a Archera. Bych se vůbec nedivil, kdyby se ti hráči nekoupili, fanoušci. Jak má třeba Seiba tu zbroj a ten klasický Archer vzhled. Je to tu. Ten den, kdy to vyjde, což je 11. července, do konce updateu 3.6 si můžeš vyzvednout Archera. To znamená, že to tam asi fakt bude. Celý spell. Tak v Honkai to nemá celé, Fate Grand Order to nemá celé a v těch Fate hrách, co jsou na PlayStation a PC, to nepamatuju si, že by to měl celé. Takže to myslím má zkrácené. Vždycky tam vynechá nějaké slova.
Nice. Awesome.
We hope that under Archer's protection, every adventure that the Trailblazers embark on will cleave over.
To je prostě dobré, prostě i když prostě ti se připojíš, to nebudeš čas hrát přes léto nebo tak, až v updateu 3.6, tak prostě získáš Fate COLAB postavu zdarma. Nemusíš ho prostě snažit se získat, pokud nechceš mít co nejvíc vylepšeného. Tu konstelaci, jak kdyby. Jo, musíš mít do materiálské as ability charakter level 6.
How about that? The free new limited 5-star character mentioned during the anniversary celebration is finally here as promised.
Actually, there's even more. Later this year, Trailblazers will.
V druhé polovině můžou Trailblazers mohou tak získat novou omezenou 5000 postavu zdarma. A to je kdo je. Kdyby to byl ten Lancer, tak to by byl dojeb. A nebo to bude nějaká klasická postava z Honkai. Jo, to nevím, to jsem ani nehrál, myslím. Takže v druhé polovičce roku teď ještě bude další 5ková postava zdarma. Ale neřekli jaká, takže buď to může být třeba jak byl kdysi Doktor Ratio, který byl zdarma díky tomu, že Honkai vyhrál to ohodnocení, že jako nejlepší, nejstahovanější, nejhranější hra na mobilní zařízení, nebo jak to bylo. Archer je prostě, že je to COLAB a prostě tam, že to prostě dají zdarma, ale teďka tu další, to by mě zajímalo, to bude.
Besides claiming Archer for free, Trailblazers can also directly obtain a set amount of character enhancement
Jo,
materials
to je
for
dobrý.
Archer.
Wow, how
Můžeš ho vylepšit na 60, jak to tam je napsané.
Yeah, this version's got a lot of characters to level up after all.
All right, now let's check out the banner details. Once the
Right.
collab starts on July.
The collab war will be anime from long time. No tak to je napsané pro dlouhý čas po launchu. Takže 11.7. ve 12.00 server time, takže nevím, jak je to u nás, bude ten collab event, kde bude v jeden, že v té době vyjde jak Saber, tak Archer a jejich Litecoiny.
July 11th, Trailblazers can
A co tam je dole napsané? Mě jenom zajímá, jestli, když... Teď mě to zajímá, nevím, jestli to, asi už to bude někde napsané a tak se podívám, nebo až se to bude blížit. Jak to bude s tím, když, jestli můžeš prohrát, nemůžeš prohrát, koho tam můžeš dostat, jestli ty standardky.
use
To mě
Star
zajímá
Rail
hodně.
special passes in the character collaboration warps Excalibur Excelsior and the bone of my sword to obtain the limited 5-star characters
sword.
Saber and Archer respectively. In the Light Cone collaboration warp, Trailblazers can get the limited 5-star Light Cone, a thankless coronation from Birth of a King, and the limited 5-star Light Cone, the
Ty Litecoin nechci,
Hellride Burn
prostě.
from Red Radiance of Fuyuki. In addition, pity counts are shared between the character collaboration warp banners and also separately
To nevím, jak je ten překlad, to by mělo být
shared between
zvláštné.
the Lightcone collaboration banners, but neither carries over to other types of warps.
Okay.
Jo, takhle, že Sabera, ty pity u Saby a Archera jsou spojené. Chápu to správně teďka. Ten překlad je takový, že když budeš warpovat Sabu, a tak ty pity vlastně, když budeš už na skoro garantované 80 se blížit, což ti může padnout dřív, tak a najednou si řekneš, že že dáš Archera, tak prostě to jasně. Collaboration warp ty pity má spojené, takže to je jedno, dobře.
It's worth mentioning here that the character and Lightcone collab banners will stay open long term after the event starts.
Co? To nechápu. Karty postav světelných kůželů, co jsou jako ty Litecoiny, budou po zájemné akci budou otevřeny trvale. Jak trvale? Jako navždy?
Does long term mean even after versions 3?
Pak, že jo. Ale jenom ty Litecoiny?
That the character and Lightcone collab banners will stay open long term after the event starts.
Does
Jo, ne, on řekl Characters a Litecoin.
long term
Tak fakt, 3, 4, 3, 5 a do updateu 3, 6.
3.4, 3.6 wrap up. You can still pull Saber, Archer,
Pak,
and
že jo.
limited
Ty
5-star
updaty.
cones.
Exactly. These collab banners will run across multiple versions with no fixed end date yet.
Oh, nuts!
And here's
Tam oni řekli, že není zatím, že není. Že tam není časový limit, ale je do update.
Throughout the entire duration of version 3.4, using Star Rail special passes for your
Limited benefit after do 7. verze 3.4 update do 13.8. server time. So, during any warp event ve verzi 3 spend total 200 star space. Lol, tak to je hustý. Takže když po dobu tady tého časového event, tady ten časovém období, tady ten event prayer, limit time benefit, warpneš, uděláš 200 warpů, pokud to chápu správně, tak můžeš si vyzvenout, climbnout tu jeho 5kovou Litecoinu pro Archera. Takže ty můžeš získat free Archera, úplně free, že se jenom přihlásíš, a pak, když budeš warpovat, tak můžeš si ještě, když dáš 200 warpů, což já udělám, tak ještě získám free jeho Litecoinu. tím pádem já vůbec zatím nemusím Archera řešit, kromě materiálu. Můžu šetřit na Seibu a jak budu warpovat Seibu furt a její Litecoin, tak pak můžu, a získám je, tak pak můžu furt pokračovat v té Seibě, protože ho budu mít aspoň ten základ. Prostě jako Archer je Archer, ale Seibu chci co nám nejvíckrát získat.
After the COLAB event starts, when Trailblazers spend a designated number of Star Rail special passes, they can directly obtain the limited 5-star light cone, the hell where ideals burn.
Throughout all of version 3.4? In other words, after the 3.4 update and before the collab event starts, any Star Rail special passes used in the banners for Finan or other rerun characters will still count toward the total, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, yeah!
And now, as the COLAB kicks off, the voice actors for Saber and Archer have some things they'd like to say to all of us. Let's take a quick break, and then we're back
Tak to je
to hear
super.
their special messages.
Takže Archer je celkově...
これからマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。セーバー役のカスメ役です。崩壊スターレールとフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催ということで、私もとてもワクワクしています。この2つの作品にはどこか似ているものがあるなと感じました。剣を手に運命と立ち向かうセーバーの姿は、厳しい冒険の中でも前へと進み続ける開拓者の姿と似ているのではないかなと思いました。収録中はフェイトとスターレールの世界観が混ざり合い、新たな魅力が生まれていくのを感じました。あまり多くは話せないのですが、セイバーがスターレールの世界でどのように信念と理想を貫いていくのか、ぜひお楽しみください。このコラボがたくさんの皆さんに楽しんでいただけたら嬉しいです。星々と聖杯が交わる旅の中で、あなただけの熱い思いとロマンに出会えますように。
romantiku?
それでは
Co?
最後に、開拓者よ、あなたが私のマスターか。
To je prostě ta Amerika. Teď
これ
Archer.
からマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。
Ten
フェイトステイナイトでアーチャーを担当しております声優の諏訪部純一です。崩壊スターレイルとフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催となります。赤い九兵はあまたの世界を旅してきましたが、ピノコニで繰り広げられる聖杯戦争は彼にとってこれまでとは全く違うものになるのではないでしょうか。崩壊スターレイルの世界でアーチャーが戦う姿が見られるのが本当に楽しみです。おなじみのキャラクターたちが未知の銀河で自分をどのように再定義していくのか、その行方をぜひ見届けてください。収録の際にアーチャーの戦闘シーン見せていただいたんですが、アンリミテッドブレードワークスの演出がとってもかっこよかったです。いや、気に入りました。素晴らしかったです。今回のコラボ企画の中でもアーチャーのかっこよさ存分にお楽しみいただけると思います。
znají Fate, tak prostě nostalgie, že?
プレイしてくださいね。これはまたとんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
Těším se na to.
Big thanks to our voice actors for those thoughtful messages.
Ale ten Lancer mě překvapil.
And Face Night Unlimited Blade Works collab about to launch. We want to take this opportunity on the program to sincerely thank all our partners in this collaboration. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Kinoko Natsu and Mr. Takashi Takeuchi for their unwavering support from the earliest planning stages to the final implementation. And thank you to the Animation Production Committee and everyone else involved for all their hard work.
Tak jo, jestli to bude fakt vypadá to hodně dobře a hodně práce, že si s tím dali a že si na tom dali. Že pokud až to vyjde, fakt tam další překvapení. Nice. To je event, no. To bych mohl i streamnout anebo natočit videjko, protože v době, kdy to vyjde, tak kdy začne dovolena ten pátek.
The goddess of beauty is the most peerless beauty of them all.
Oh, so it's that red-haired Lancer.
You got it. After the sweet dreams in the Holy Grail War tournament, the genius Skullam made some modifications to the Holy Grail. Now, the Grail can load the simulated data of past striders through the user's memories. So in Fate Stay Night, Trailblazers will face off against many familiar and old friends in intense
Kavka, co by kasta, jo.
V1 battles. Each contestant starts with unique skills and a set amount of health. Losing a round means losing health. And when your health hits
Hulpa, když tam bude, tak to bude
zero,
super.
you're out.
Is there a smart way to beat your opponents?
At the start of the game, Trailblazers get some free pieces, each with different classes that grant different buffs.
No je prostě s
You can
Fatem
merge
spojené.
identical pieces to
Ty
upgrade
klasy, no.
them. The higher the piece's rarity, the
To šachové
stronger the
jako
buff.
figurky.
Pieces of the same class have bonds between them too. Collect enough pieces of the same class, and you activate special bond effects that give you a serious
No tam bude i ten
boost
Paimon
in
na
battle.
vyzkoušení, by tam mohl
Looks
být.
like bonds are super important in this Holy Grail War, huh?
Absolutely. And that's not all. Trailblazers can also acquire noble phantasms during battle for extra help. Plus, during combat, Trailblazers can have the chance to get 3 command spells.
To tam
Using
neslyším.
these spells grants additional buffs.
Command spells, huh? Well, I'm curious. What role is the Trailblazer playing this time?
It's player.
This Grail feels kind of off. Forking hell. Could it be corrupted?
You right on the money. Trailblazers can increase the Holy Grail's corruption level to unlock extra buff mechanics.
Pár se stal,
the more
staral
points you
Jadu.
earn when you win. Heads up, raising corruption level also powers up your enemies. So watch your step, Trailblazers.
Oh, but don't worry too much. After all, this is a reality show competition, and just for entertainment. The organizers of Fate Stay Night have also prepared a special Protected Mode competition. In Protected Mode, Trailblazers can fight using trial characters,
No tak
and enemies'
vyzkoušíš si
strength is
Archera,
counted
Seibu
down.
a i Paimona. Plus
This
další.
way, new Trailblazers can jump in and fully enjoy the Holy Grail War experience.
Exactly. The production team cordially invites everyone watching to stay the night. Experience some epic battle action.
And score yourself some stellar jades and other awesome rewards.
Now, just a quick reminder, this Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collaboration is split into 2 parts. The Trailblazer Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail, and the event, Fate Stay Night. The Fate Stay Night event will open for play on July 11th. The 2 programs stand on their own, so Trailblazers can dive into each separately.
To je dobré.
So much
Že nám chceš ten příběh odehrát.
Alright. Big thanks again to our 2 guests.
Super jako no.
That wraps up today's Fate COLAB update.
Presenter, your mission is complete.
Já chci nevyslyšel ten Fate COLAB, no.
It's all part of the job. Anything for the Trailblazers. So Trailblazers, my honored masters, let's meet again in version 3.4. See you there.
We hope you'll stay the night.
Bye-bye.
See you next time, guys.
Konec. No nic, takže sami napište, když z vás, co jste se dívali až na stream nebo na záznam, co si o těm updateu myslíte, koho budete warpovat, na to se nejvíc těšíte za mě, ten Fate. Ta Litecoina mě překvapila o Archera, protože to získám určitě, to se nebojím. To nemám obavy, protože mám v plánu do toho nějaké i ty peníze vrazit, prostě sejba. Takže Archer Free v ten vydání, což je 11. července, plus když uděláte 200 warpů, teď nevím, jestli tam bylo jako i když 200 warpů, ať už je to jedno, jestli na tu Litecoiny, anebo na tu postavy, ale musí to být, myslím, ty Fate, ten collaboration banner, tak prostě když dáte 200, tak si klanujete jeho Litecoinu, tím pádem nemusí, i když bych ho chtěl taky vymaxovat s tou konstelací, ať už tu Litecoin nebo hod svůj postavu, tak prostě se zaměřím pak, se můžu přímo fakt zaměřit na tu sejbu, neboť dalším updateu 3.5 už byly oznámené 2 nové 5kové postavy, které vypadají superově, takže to bude hard. A za další by tam tady v tom special programu říkali, že v tom 3.5 by měl být, když teďka mají být reruny, tam je i na Firefly, která dostala skin z Bladea, protože ty postavy dostaly úpravy a Kavka, jak se jmenuje, Johnny, nebo jak se jmenuje, tak ta má tady rerun, teda tež má upravené schopnosti trošku a Kafka a Sorovo, teda ty schopnosti opravujeme, bude v tým rerun, takže to bude hard, takže tam bude furt pokračovat Fate, 2 nové 5kové postavy a ještě rerun na Kafku, což je extrém. A to Bůh ví, co bude v updateu 3.6 za postavy, kde bude ten Fate Collaboration banner naposled. Zajímá mě, co bude tu další 5kovou postavou. Byl bych rád, ale nedělám si velké naděje, že by to byl ten Lancer. Že by pokračoval v tom Fateu. Bylo by to super, přece když to je následující updaty, tak by to mohlo něco být, nějaké překvapko ještě. Viděli jsme ho jenom v traileru a nic víc, takže jsem na to hodně zvědavej. A doufám, že do budoucna prostě bude více kolabů, anebo jestli se vrátí k tomu Fateu, možná nějaký jiný kolab uvidíme, jestli něco v létě zase oznámí, jak minulý rok oznámili teďka ten Fate, na ten rok ten Fate, jestli něco na příští rok. No a to je ode mě vše, takže svůj názor napište, možná bych dal z toho 11. července, jak to vyjde v stream, jak říkám, to budu mít, už začne mít dovolená v ten den, asi až odpoledne, ale začne, takže bych mohl dát i k večeru, odpoledne, streameček bychom mohli dát, nebo odpoledne ne. No možná ani nedám, protože teď nevím, jak budu mít směnu. Takže uvidíme. Ale měl bych už být doma. Takže když ne v pátek ten vydání, tak v sobotu. Natočím určitě ten banner a dal bych to i jako stream, takže tak. Takže svůj názor napište a já děkuji všem a uvidíme se někdy příště. Čau.